Betrayal is a very common theme in GTA games. Some of them are shocking, some of them are expected, and some of them are just straight up sad. Today's topic, however, is a rather confusing one, and that is the betrayal committed by none other than Mr. Lance Vance. And today we're gonna dissect this neurotic, insecure mofo. Okay, not literally, but you know what I mean. So let's get on with it. Let's first take things back to 1984 when GTA Vice City Stories takes place. And let's analyze Lance's relationship with his older brother, Victor Vance. For those that didn't play Vice City Stories, Victor Vance is the older brother of Lance Vance and of course is the protagonist of that game. And something is pretty much right away visible in this game where you see Vic, he doesn't really take Lance too seriously, and that's exactly the reason that during Vice City, Ken Rosenberg sees him as an insecure dude. The guy clearly has some insecurity issues, as I said, and that's not to say that Vic is at fault for that. I mean, maybe partially, but Vic was right about Lance. He knew who Lance was. He was his older brother, so if there was anyone that knew Lance really well, it was definitely him. And Vic, to put it simply, didn't really trust Lance as much because he is generally unpredictable, and to add to that, he wasn't exactly the sharpest tool in the shed, which led him and Vic into some shitty situations. Specifically, they got in a bunch of trouble with the Mendez brothers, who were some serious dudes, and they were not to be messed with by any means. Fast forward though to 1986 and Tommy's partnership with Lance, and this trend continues. When Lance tries to go after Diaz on his own without any help, he of course gets himself captured by Diaz's gang at the Vice City junkyard where he's getting tortured, and y'all know the story. This was arguably Lance's dumbest move over the course of the two games, and this is where we as the player can already see, maybe not on the first playthrough, but definitely on the second, why Lance would become a problem. Also, if you're enjoying this video right now, leave a like on the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are trying to get to 1,500 subscribers, and also feel free to check out my memberships if that's something you're interested in. Members have access to exclusive emojis, and also every single member will be getting a shout out in the form of a credits like screen at the end of each video. So we covered this dude's unreliability and general stupidity, but what about the insecurity part? Well, in GTA Vice City, there are a few instances where Lance calls Tommy to confront him, and here is where the insecurity really shows on this guy. Now, I won't play the calls as to not waste any of your time, but I will go ahead and sum them up real quick, and if you really want to listen to them, they're on the internet pretty much everywhere. Just look it up on YouTube and that's basically it. But to sum up, Lance goes on about how Tommy is not giving him a fair slice in his operation, that Tommy treats him like a kid, and that's something his late brother would do. A lot of things that really, if you look at over the course of the game, Tommy never really does. In my opinion, he is by no means unfair. I think even in one of the phone calls, he literally tells Lance that he can just pretty much lay into him, and that's not something an unreasonable or an unfair boss would do. Literally the closest thing that I could remember from the game where Tommy would ever get to that level, which is still really far from what Lance is talking about, is in the bar brawl mission. This is the second mission, I think, for the Vercetti estate, and the only thing that really happens here is Tommy kind of snaps at Lance for a moment for not doing anything about a bar, refusing to pay protection money to them, and the only thing he does, he's literally just putting him to work. So it's not like he's being unreasonable by any means. Lance is just sitting on his ass, not doing a damn thing. So we know that at the end of the game, there's really no reason for Lance to betray Tommy at all, at least from our perspective as the player. What is the reason that Lance even betrays Tommy in the first place? Well, the reason are the before mentioned issues that we talked about in Lance's case. His insecurity led to him turning against Tommy because, like I said, he thought Tommy treated him like shit, and that was just not the case. And his stupidity, for lack of a better word, is what got him killed, not just for going against Tommy, who was his friend, but for aligning himself with a piece of shit like Sonny. Because put it this way, if Sonny managed to kill Tommy and take his entire empire from him, I highly doubt that Sonny would have given Lance any kind of cut of the whole thing. In all honesty, he probably would have killed Lance right after he killed Tommy. Like, there was no use for Lance that Sonny had, so you just kill him right then and there. And this just goes to show how much of a dumbass Lance Vance was, and that it was only a matter of time before he would get killed. And I think that even if he did not betray Tommy, he would have gotten killed by someone sooner or later. And with that said, I want to thank you for watching this GTA Vice City lore video. Until next video stream, bye bye.